Graeme Holm is, according to this little bio in the program, is Australia's original money mentor, educating and coaching families how they can reduce debt rapidly and grow their existing asset base to new heights. Okay. Graham's very laid back presenter. The segment that I really liked what he did yesterday was when we brought on the two couples, and they were everyday Australians basically that you could relate to. They had a mortgage, they're a family, and their main dilemma is obviously just trying to meet their bills and just try to get ahead, and not just working to actually make the bills and have some kind of lifestyle and freedom from it. So it was interesting actually listening to them and their stories, and they were answering questions from Graeme, who did his bit at the beginning, first of all, to sort of say where he was from and the credibility and what they've been able to do in helping families. So I could relate because 1, yes, I've got a family. 2, I have a mortgage. 3, well, I have a business. So my business is my investment, and that is my vehicle to actually moving towards what I'm actually after in terms of my goals. But there were a couple of things from Graham's presentation that I quite like in his offer that he presented to the audience. And the two that really stood out for me was the reduced interest rate, always good when you've got a mortgage, that he was able to offer. And I can recall, I think, seeing a letter come from my existing mortgage company, and they were telling me about reduced rates, and our rate is basically a variable one. So when he mentioned his percentage, I'm not quite sure whether I should say it, because just in case it's like, obviously it's going to change depending on the thing, but it was at least about a full percent and maybe a bit less than my current arrangement. And based on the size of our mortgage, when I talked to my partner about it later, it was like, wow, that's a substantial saving that we could actually make in there. So we may actually investigate that again. We should. But that was the first point that struck me when during his particular presentation. The second part was to do, obviously, as a business owner, when he was saying about how they would actually be, I think, some kind of backing lender, although I'm not really, the only actual, full disclosure, the only lending arrangement I have is just my credit card, where I'm actually paying that. Everything else is, I don't have any other debts apart from this credit card and, of course, my mortgage. But that's the personal side of things. So the business is just basically just been funded by one credit card, and I'm just trying to all the earnings that I get now is just it's paying off that and reinvesting back into the business as I actually grow it, as I'm growing it. So those two bits, the reduced interest rate and the fact that they could actually be a backup lender or sympathetic, empathetic to business owners who are actually trying to start, and the fact that they are treated differently by most major lenders when it comes to like a small business and you don't have really much of a financial history behind you, and it's just being able to get the funding if you require it for your product or your service if you're actually launching. So that's the two bits that actually came to mind. And the second part obviously was when he had the couples on stage and they were talking about where they were and how they were able to, through his system, go beyond the fact that they were able to reduce. And what really struck was one of the examples of a 19-year mortgage going down right down to 2.5 years. It was like, wow, that is really substantial, and that's a great deal of savings. But they're able to reinvest now and build a portfolio of assets, of other properties, which was basically then helping them reduce that time even further on their main mortgage. So, yeah, obviously very worthwhile. So he's Graeme Holm, co-founder of Infinity Group, which I think, yes, they were awarded the 2019 Finance Broker of the Year. So there's obviously some success. So well worth actually investigating further. So that's Graeme. So he was the first one after lunch, and I'm just going through my notes now. Who did we have? We had the amazing Elena Cardone, and because I follow Grant quite avidly, and Elena as well, yeah, she came on stage to talk about how to grow an empire. So Elena, next.